What's up, boys and girls? This is your boy Cedric with Actual Christianity, and today I wanted to talk about the 4B movement. Um, man, Trump won, right? Sweeping victory for the Republican Party. Like at this point, the House, the Senate, and the presidency has been secured for the Republican Party, and a lot of liberal women are flipping out on the internet. I don't need to show you guys the sheer amount of women tripping out and just going crazy over the election results. That might be actually a fun video to make at some point, but I wanted to talk about this 4B movement that's basically been fired back up a little bit as a result of this election. And so, for those of you who don't know, the 4B movement originally started in South Korea. It's essentially a bunch of upset women in that country who essentially said like four things, like it's no sex with men anymore, no having children, no marriage, essentially like no relationship. It's like four things like that. And so it's caught wind with feminists in the rest of the Western world, particularly in America now that Trump has won the election. And so there are I don't know how many there are, but there are a number of women who are saying, they can't believe Trump won. The misogyny wins again, that sort of thing. And so as a result, they're no longer going to be sleeping with men. They are going to shave their heads. They're going to basically keep to themselves. And, as a means of, I guess, punishing men, as well as just distancing themselves from men. The crazy thing about this, though, especially as a Christian, for one, I think it's good that fewer women will be fornicating. This pretty much means that there will be less pregnancies, and considering it's about left-leaning women, there will also be less abortions. So thank God for that. I don't think a lot of these women understand the irony, though. So the crazy thing about it is that what's essentially happening is that by taking this vow as a left-leaning woman who's upset at men, they're essentially living more conservatively, which is kind of ironic, right? Like they're saying, oh, I'm not just going to go sleep around with men like I used to. I'm going to, the shaving the head part, like that's not exactly conservative. But the whole idea is that they're trying to make themselves less attractive so that they would draw less attention from a man, right? And so that also ironically means that they're taking on a degree of modesty as a result of this, right? And so it's really strange because I don't think a lot of the women that are for this thing realize that they're basically, in a way, even though out of spite, adhering to a more conservative type of lifestyle. I mean, for one, they won't be sleeping with any man, right? They say that they won't be getting married or having relationships like that. But to be honest, I don't even think that's true. A lot of people get on the internet and just say stuff. And when it comes to TikTok and women on TikTok, a lot of women like to get on TikTok and just say stuff as well. But much in the same way, women will say that they really want a nice guy. They want, a really sweet person, a sweet man for themselves. But they don't really end up with that kind of guy. They end up with a different kind of guy. This is kind of the same thing all over again. And so I think a lot of women are really just trying to get attention from this, issue of the election. But I do think there's some legit malice among some of the women as well. There's some women out there that legitimately hate men, like it's, there are some out there that really, really, really hate men. Much in the same way there are men out there that hate women, right? Like it's a problem regardless of the gender we're talking about. But in this case, I'm pretty sure there are some women that legitimately mean it. But when it's all said and done, a lot of the times this stuff is just kind of overreactions to what's going on. When was the last time you saw like a conservative flip out during 2020? You know what I mean? Like just on the internet, just going crazy, screaming, I can't believe it, America's over, that sort of stuff, blah, 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 blah. I mean, at worst, it was, the goofballs for January 6th, right? But like, as far as like people on TikTok or social media, just like pulling their hair out and going crazy, like it wasn't conservatives doing that. And so, in a way, this is basically 2016 all over again with what's called Trump derangement syndrome, right? And so, I just think it's interesting because as a Christian, it's funny to kind of see these women inadvertently become nuns. Like, I don't think a lot of them understand that is actually working in the favor of men. I think if a right man comes along, a lot of these women's minds will simply change. Like, I mean, that's the truth. I mean, unless they're together in a group, like unless they're together in a group, an individual woman who has the interest of a man that she likes will abandon these principles. Like this kind of solidarity that feminists throw on the internet, it really isn't as strong as it's perceived to be. There are a number of women who will say they hate men and stuff, but still are in relationships. There are a number of women who are, feminists, but will still end up in relationships with men that they don't consider to be feminist men. And so I just wanted to make a video about that. Let me know what you guys think about this issue. It means less fornication. I'm all for that. Less irresponsible, sex with people they don't know. It means less pregnancies. It means therefore less babies aborted. So I'm all for it. I think it's great. I don't think that the hatred behind it is good. That's not good at all. But nevertheless, they're just kind of helping with a lot of the societal ills we have when it comes to like this, the dysfunction between relationships. By not having any relationships at all, they're ironically kind of helping solve the issue. Let me know what you guys think about this. A like is appreciated, a comment is appreciated. This is Cedric with Actual Christianity. Also take a look at some other videos. I made another video in which I talk about how nice guys do in fact win. It's just that our understanding of nice guys is kind of skewed. There are videos we're checking out as well. This is Cedric with Actual Christianity. Talk to you guys later.